little bit early. Gonna give it a few minutes for people to get signed in and join the live. How's everybody doing? What you guys working on? Building anything cool? Me? I'm working on a few videos. It's been a little hectic lately with moving out of my house, dealing with all kinds of craziness. Everything that seems like it can go wrong right now is going wrong. Not everything. Life's still good. Just a few hiccups, bumps in the road. Timeline is very short to handle some of these issues that have arisen. So it is what it is, guys. Give it about another minute for people to get on. I said 8. It is 30 seconds early. So yeah, let's just get into it. I think I got 4 viewers now. Cool. What's up, guys? All right. So Saturday, I had a very interesting day. As the title would suggest, I don't know if you guys can see the title yet. I'm assuming so. I had to draw my firearm on someone. And this video isn't to be like, oh, I'm a badass, I drew on somebody. Like, that is the last thing that I wanted to do, is pull my firearm on someone. Obviously, we all carry to defend ourselves, our family, our friends, all that good stuff. But it's pretty scary, honestly. I am in the military. For you guys who watch all the time, you know that. There's a different set of rules when you're in a combat situation. You're not worried about it. I'm not going to say it's the Wild West. I mean, there's obviously rules of engagement, escalation of force, all that stuff. But in the civilian world, you don't have that. You have the public appearance to deal with. You have the perception of the police department and those around you, what they think happened versus what actually happened. And you're kind of guilty until proven innocent, or at least plead your best case and hope that it comes out in your favor. A lot of people think that just because they're right and they're justified, that the law is going to see it that way. And just because you're right doesn't mean you're always going to be proven right. And that's kind of the scary situation of drawing your firearm on somebody. So the rundown of what happened. So Saturday was we did a joint birthday party for my daughters. We're heading to Walmart and the dollar store trying to find helium for some balloons. And there was no helium anywhere. We're all over town trying to find helium for these balloons for this birthday party. And it's like 4 hours till the time, because we got a helium tank from my sister-in-law. It was empty. So anyway, everybody was out of helium. So we decided to head back home. And in the process of heading back home, a car was leaving a gas station while we're already, traveling down the main avenue. And this dude just didn't want to wait. He just decides to pull out. And I see that, so I go to the left lane to go around him, and he just keeps coming out and hits the passenger side of our vehicle. Boom. No big deal. Accidents happen, right? Maybe he was impatient, whatever. It's a vehicle. We'll get it fixed. Sure, I don't have time for that. Nobody has time for that. But, we'll make it happen. We'll get it taken care of. It'll be fine. No. Instantly, this dude decides to exit his car, come right to my driver door. I barely just got out of the car, and he's already there. He's, in a wife beater, lifting his shirt up, saying, what the fuck are you doing? I'm about to beat your ass, blah, 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 like right in my face. And my daughter is in the car with me right there in the front passenger seat. She's scared out of her mind, like shaking, and she just says, Daddy. And if it was just me, sure. If you want to go, let's go, man. But I'm not going to take that chance with my daughter right there. I get my ass knocked out. I'm laying on the pavement. Who knows what he's going to do to her? Because this individual's clearly like out of his mind, raging out over just a simple petty accident. Like, these things happen, man. It's life. But he's blaming me, saying it's my fault. Whatever. That's neither here nor there. Whatever. I was a little too emotional to post this on Saturday. I just wanted to unwind, relax, enjoy my daughter's birthday party, and just take some time to think about it and reflect. I have some notes to kind of stay on point because I get a little crazy. So anyway, this dude's up in my face, saying he's gonna beat my ass in front of my daughter. She's scared. She's saying, Daddy. If this dude takes me out, I have no idea what's gonna happen to her, because I mean, you know, he could just hop in my car and take off. I don't know what this dude's issue is, but he's clearly like not in a good state of mind. So I immediately draw my firearm, and you know, I was carrying my Ruger Max 9 because I'm product testing some holsters right now, so I'm switching between that and my Glock. And you know, I draw it, and I'm like, dude, you need to back the F up. You're scaring my daughter. I'm not having it. And he said, oh yeah, we can do that. I got one too. And he pulls out a freaking Springfield from his, you know, basketball shorts pocket. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. So I didn't point my weapon at him. I just drew and held it right here in a low ready. And I said, dude, you need to back the F up. You're scaring my daughter. And he, you know, proceeds to, you know, draw his handgun, and he just kept it, you know, kind of loose, like not tactical whatsoever. And this is like a bad situation. Like, this isn't something that I would ever see myself, you know, this confrontation, like over something so petty. You fantasize these situations in your head with the memes we see and videos of, you know, rundown cities like Chicago, New York, blah, blah, blah. I would never just think going to look for helium for my daughter would lead to me drawing a freaking handgun on somebody, and it's not something I wanted to happen. So anyway, there's another, you know, bystander who, I think he kind of knew the guy. He came up and he's like, yo, whatever the dude's name was, he's like, don't be like that, it ain't worth it, blah, 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 and it ends up getting him like out of my space, back to his car and away from us. So once that happens, you know, his buddy or whoever he was pulled him to the side and got him back away from us. He went ahead and put his handgun in his driver's side door. So at that point, he was away from his driver's side door, backed up. So I went ahead and reholstered and got on the phone with the cops, because I hadn't even had a chance to call it in yet, because he was there in our faces. So I went ahead and called the cops. I let them know. I was like, look, we have an irate dude here. I was in a vehicle accident, nothing major, nobody's hurt. But this guy is freaking out, and I gave him the description of the guy, and I was like, just send somebody as soon as you can, please, because I don't want the situation to escalate any more than it has to, and more than it already has. I mean, it's pretty bad. So within, you know, I'd say 2 minutes, you know, I hear the sirens, like, all right, cool, they're on their way, and he's just, the whole time we're waiting for him, that 2 minutes felt like, you know, 10 minutes, because just constantly berating me, calling me, you know, punk ass, white boy, just everything irrelevant to the situation, still blaming me. I told him, look, I called the cops, man, they're on their way, like, and I just remained calm. I stayed at my car door, hands on top of my car, not like I was like being frisked or anything, just relaxed, just calm, just leaning over my car. I went ahead and got my driver's license out and my concealed carry permit, and I took my firearm outside of my waistband and put it on my driver's seat, and before the cops arrived. That way, when they got there, everything was laid out. I had my documentation, and I was ready to tell the police what happened, you know, and lay it all out there. So, not give them any more information than they needed, but just to let them know what happened, you know, so that way they can do their investigation. So as soon as the cops pull up, it was one squad car at first. It was a younger guy. He comes out and he goes to talk to the individual first, the other party. And immediately the guy just gets super irritated with the cops. Like, whatever question he asked first, he did not like it. And he kind of postured up on the officer. So he's like, look, you're being detained until I can figure out what's going on here. You're being detained, because obviously he got the call that I made, you know, saying that this situation's a little aggressive. So he already knew kind of going into it what was going on. He didn't have any idea about the firearms yet, but he knew that there was a tense situation. So he goes to detain this guy, and this guy's resisting. He's resisting him by all means. This guy's got his taser out, and the dude's like pacing the parking lot, walking away from him. And finally, you know, backup shows is the guy's sergeant, and they both kind of, you know, back off a little bit. The sergeant talks to him to try to de-escalate it, like, all right, this officer and you just didn't have a good rapport, so let me try to, like, you know, talk to you. So they talk for a minute, and then again, I guess he didn't like what he had to say and just instantly got irate. And now a third cop shows up at that point, which is the next city over. He showed up, and you know, there's 3 of them now. And it got to the point where all three of them are trying to get this guy's hands behind his back. They're like, you're detained, you're detained, you're detained, and he's just not having it. The sergeant starts throwing knee strikes at this dude, and he's still like resisting. And then the sergeant's like, all right, yeah, you guys back up. And he pulls his taser out, and he's like, you're gonna get tased if you don't freaking stop. So eventually, the dude stops. They get his hands behind his back. He's cuffed. So they pull him off to the side at the first squad car, and one of the officers is talking to him. The other guy, the original officer on scene, comes over to me and pretty much asks me the rundown. I tell him exactly what happened. Look, I'm going here towards the main avenue to exit the plaza, and this guy pulls out of the gas station. I see him kind of last minute. I go to swerve around him. He still comes out, hits us on our passenger side. This dude's immediately screaming, I hit him. At my door, blah, blah, blah. I drew my weapon because I was in fear for me and my daughter. If something were to happen to me, I don't know what he's gonna do to my daughter. I don't know what he's like, I don't know where this dude's mindset is. So, you know, blah, blah, they run the dude's background, run mine. They finally go to talk to the guy, and he's calmed down a little bit, and he's like, all right, hey, do you have a carry permit, and do you have your driver's license, proof of insurance, all that shit? So, I had already let the officer know, hey, he does have a weapon that's in the driver door. So they took him to the passenger side, like, look, grab your documents, while one officer stayed by the driver door to make sure he didn't try to like reach over and grab it or anything. So he grabs his documentation. In the process of doing that, the officer smells what he thinks is, you know, a hint of marijuana. State of North Carolina, that's enough to search the car. That's enough probable cause for them to go ahead and search the vehicle. So as soon as they tell him, this dude starts flipping out. I do not consent to search to seizures, do not consent to search to seizures, just going off. At the same time, the dude's mom and dad show up, and his mom just runs straight to the freaking officers right in the middle of the scene, didn't care at all, and she's like, that's my baby, that's my boy, what are you doing? Why is he in handcuffs? Where's the other party? Why are they not in handcuffs? Just going off, like, just imagine chaos. And at this point, I'm disarmed, so I'm just like, dude, just watching this stuff unfold, and it's like a bad episode of Cops or like Live PD. You're like, you see that crap on TV, and you're like, there's no way this crap actually happens. It actually happens, and unfortunately, I had to, you know, witness it firsthand. So eventually, they search this guy's car, end up finding, I think, I got the police report today, you know, take care of the car damages and stuff. He had 16 roaches of marijuana, 12 baggies of marijuana, equaling like up to or over half an ounce. Freaking residue in a, I don't know, a pipe? I don't know. I don't smoke, so I don't freaking know. A marijuana pipe. He had that, and a bunch of other paraphernalia in the car. So that's why he didn't want to consent to search and seizures, but he didn't know the law, so he didn't really have a choice but to consent because they had probable cause. I don't know if that had anything to do with this dude's state of mind. I just stayed calm the whole time. There's nothing I could do. Once they arrived on scene, nothing's out of my hands. All I can do is remain calm, work with them as much as possible, answer their questions, be respectful, and whatever's going to unfold is going to unfold. As long as I know I'm right, and I'm, you know, I can plead my case and, you know, prove that I'm not the aggressor in this situation. I just want to sit here. Yes, that is a deer head, guys. You like? Does nobody hunt? Yes, that is that's a deer head. It's kind of old. I moved out of my house, and I've been meaning to make a European mount out of that, and I haven't done it yet, but I will. I shipped my ones that are mounted already. They're like full mounts, like the full head, neck, all beautiful. This one I just didn't get to yet. So that's not the point of the story. You're distracting me. All right. Anyway, back in action. So you know, I just laid everything out there. So during the course of their investigation, they find all this stuff out, and you know, that dude ends up going to jail. They look at my firearm, run the serial number, everything. You know, everything came back clear. Obviously, I'm not a, you know, freaking criminal, so the gun's registered to me, everything's fine, it's not stolen, nothing crazy. They asked me the rundown like 3 or 4 times. Now, I don't know whether that's to see if I remember any more details or to see if my story changes. I know sometimes, police tactics are a little, they try to catch you and stuff, but I had nothing to hide, so I just told the story exactly like it happened, and that's all I can do. My story's not going to change. In those moments, it's stressful. You don't really understand how stressful something like that can be, and there's different kinds of stress. Obviously, this was workable stress. I can mitigate it just by the training that I do, by way of my occupation, the training that I do at home, making these videos, watching videos of people who are way more proficient at this stuff than me, and just learning those things. Now, am I perfect? Absolutely not. If I had to go back and do it again, would I? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd rather draw and not need to use it than keep it in my freaking holster and get my ass knocked out and something happened to my daughter and I wouldn't even want to live, Like if something like that happened, that's your kid, man. And if they're scared and they're saying daddy and she's on the verge of tears, I don't care who you are. You're going to back the fuck up or I'm going to make you back up. I mean, it's just that's what it is. And kind of retroactively thinking about it, if something were to happen, if I actually did have to use my firearm, I think about the things I post on YouTube, on Instagram, and things like that. And it's funny sometimes to post memes about like if something were to happen, I'd be helping people. Like obviously they're jokes. Most a lot of the things you see. I post some serious stuff too, obviously, but I like to have fun. I have a sense of humor, but you never know, in a court of law, how those things will be used against you. Like some might argue, on his side that maybe I was looking for a fight, which is clearly not the case. I mean, I'm looking for party supplies, but it just kind of had me thinking that whole night. It was in the back of my mind. It was like stressing me out, even though like everything was resolved, nothing happened. It was like, dude, like, what if I had to use my firearm? Like, would they try to paint me as some like right-wing, extremist who just couldn't wait for a situation to arise to, shoot a dude? Like, absolutely not, dude. Human life is valuable. Like, all this training that, me and viewers, I mean, you guys, we do it to be prepared for the worst case, not that we're looking for a fight or we're looking for problems. I'd say it's the exact opposite. We try to be hyper vigilant to avoid problems. We can identify issues before they become issues. And unfortunately, in a situation like that where you get an accident, totally unexpected, and a dude's at your door, you don't have time to like sit back and think like, should I not? Like if you feel threatened, that's why you carry. Eliminate the threat. Now, luckily, that was enough to like get him to back up a little bit and then pull his, and then it was kind of like a weird Western standoff. But his posture with the firearm wasn't as, I guess, ready as I was. So I was in a low ready, I'm ready to go. Like, just up and pull, you're good, you're done. He was more one-handed, kind of flaring it to the side, like he wasn't ready for a fight. And you can kind of read that, and that's the whole point of training and reading body language and knowing kind of how to react quickly. And I've watched a lot of guys on here, Field Craft Survival, a lot of others, Warrior Poet Society, John Lovell. Those guys are really good at what they do, and those guys, Special Forces, Rangers, Green Berets, those dudes are legit. And I'm a Marine, but full disclosure, I'm not an infantry guy. I'm not recon. I'm a logistician. We do get a lot of firearms training because we're the ones taking stuff from point A to point B with convoys. So we get machine gun training. We get all that training because if there's a blockage, if we have to go through a town, we have to clear it. We have to do that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I'm not the biggest freaking infantry badass out there, but I do have a lot of training, and even basic like admin Marines get trained better than freaking a lot of other service members. Not to say that we're better, we are, but that's not the point of this video. So it's just really stressful, and you just have to know how to read body language. Just keep getting proficient, keep training yourself, guys, and just going to go down the way you think it is. It's never going to be a situation that you see coming. It's going to be the stuff that just comes out of nowhere. Getting balloons for a birthday party turned into me drawing a weapon on another freaking human, and it's just totally unnecessary, totally uncalled for. I didn't want to do it. I didn't. I did want to say Army. You got me, man. I did want to say better than the Army. But I left it at other branches. I don't know, Coast Guard, you know, I don't know. Those, just kidding. Those guys are cool. No, but seriously, like, human life is precious, man. And, you know, don't take this video as me, you know, glorifying a situation or thinking that, you know, I'm a badass because I got to do that. No, like, absolutely not. I would, Space Force, yeah. I would, if I could just avoid that situation, if I could have taken the other exit to Walmart, you know, I would much rather do that than to end up in that situation, because it wasn't just me. You know, my kid was with me, man. And at the end of the day, do whatever you want to me, man. But I can't take a chance with my child. And that was the really scary part. Now, when I say it's a scary situation, I don't mean I was personally scared, like, oh my God, like, I had to draw my weapon. No, like, that's what I'm supposed to do. That's what I'm trained to do. I was scared because, like, dude, if anything were to happen to me, if that dude would have just instantly knocked me out or drew on me right away and shot me, like, dude, what would happen? I don't know. The what ifs just kind of, it's scary, man. You know, when you just decide to go to the store real quick, you know, the store's 15 minutes away, and, you know, I'm going to be back, and hey, you know, you tell your wife, you know, I'll be back in 30 minutes, and it's like, you know, almost 2 hours later because I'm dealing with this whole situation. Thank you to the Dunn, North Carolina Police Department. They showed up quick, they handled it, they were very professional. And just, guys, if you're going to do things, do them right. If you're going to carry, make sure, I mean, I get it, you know, shall not be infringed, I get it, but unfortunately that's not the world we live in. So if you do get caught up in a situation, then, you know, at the end of the day, hey, if you're alive and you get thrown in jail because you were carrying illegally, like, hey, whatever, you're still alive, you're breathing, the other guy's not. But if you're willing to do things the right way because of the laws, then do them. And unfortunately for me, I don't have the ability to break the law. Like, I'm in the military, I'm not gonna risk my career. You know, I got 5 more years before I can retire. I'm gonna get my concealed carry permit. I'm gonna follow the laws. I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. And, you know, that's a personal choice. Now you're gonna have to make that personal choice for you. I live in Seattle. I had to draw down on someone a few times. They're crazy out here, man. Yeah, I've heard some stories about Washington, man. I don't know if it's like, you know, the lack of sunny days or what, but you know, I've heard, and I'm sorry about the magazine ban that just came down in Washington. I did see that there's an injunction against that order from a gun policy or the FPC. I forget who it was, but I just saw that post recently. So hopefully that goes well on your guys' behalf in Washington. But yeah, guys, just be vigilant. Just know that anything can happen at any time. So if you think you're just gonna run to the store real quick and I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it in the car, or I'm gonna leave it at home, don't. Because a quick trip to Walmart, a quick trip to the gas station could be the moment when something happens and you're like, dude, I preach this stuff and I'm out here naked and afraid, you know? So if you guys learn anything from this, just be very mindful, protect your family, protect your loved ones. If you're right, you're right. Absolutely stand your ground. Don't let people bully you. Don't let people push you around. And just, if something does come down and officers are involved, stay calm. You know, if that dude would have stayed calm, he may have, you can carry whenever you want it, you got the balls. I mean, yeah, you can. The cops are defunded and they don't care until someone gets shot. You know, I get it. We all have our viewpoints on police and stuff. Look, are they perfect? Absolutely not, but neither are any of us, if you want to be honest. Any profession, there's going to be people who, you know, aren't as great as others. Are they privy to corruption just like any other organization? Absolutely. some would say the military is corrupt because, I mean, obviously at my level, not really so much, but all those generals that are, work at the Pentagon are constantly in D.C. on the Senate floor and, dealing with Congress and stuff. Like, who's to know what orders we get are legit or not? I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's a tough situation, man. And at the end of the day, you have to do what's right for you and what you believe in your heart. And whether that complies with the law, hey, I mean, that's a personal decision that you have to make. And I'm not going to advocate one way or the other. I'm just kind of staying neutral, I got to do what's best for me and my family, and obviously you guys do the same. But yeah, guys, just stand your ground, be vindicated, be calm, do what you got to do. And, hopefully you never have to run into that situation. But if you do, just absolutely be prepared and prepare yourself. And more importantly, prepare your family. I've been getting on my wife. She needs to start carrying more. Got her concealed carry, took her to the class. And she still doesn't like to carry all the time. And, a lot of times I'm with her, so she, uses me. But, hey, who's to know if I'm going to get clapped, She needs to be able to defend herself. So I keep getting on her, and I implore you guys to do the same. You can be trained all day long, but you're not always going to be there 24/7. Anytime your wife goes to the store, your kids go out somewhere. And I'm not saying be some sort of, hyper vigilant freak about everything. Like, nobody's out to get you everywhere you go. But it's better to be prepared than to be, to be a dummy about it and to be so naive as to think that it's not going to happen to you, because it could. And that's pretty much all I got, guys. What I was mentioning about Instagram and YouTube, what you post, I'm not going to change who I am. I'm going to post memes that I think are funny. I'm going to still post firearms related content. It doesn't mean I'm looking for a fight. It doesn't mean that I'm some sort of right-wing freak and looking to draw down on someone, shoot someone, end someone's life. Absolutely not. Human life is precious. I love everybody until they give me a reason not to love them, man. All creeds, colors, sexual orientation, I do not care. Being in the military is such a melting pot. No matter how you were raised, I mean, I guess some people are weird, but I mean, no matter how you were raised, that all goes away. Thank you. Life finds a way. I'm glad I'm okay too, and more importantly, I'm glad my daughter's okay, and I'm glad the situation was resolved peacefully without anyone getting hurt. But yeah, guys, just be true to yourself. Do what you got to do. Palmetto State is prioritizing Washington Magazine orders, and I'm all about that. But I'm waiting on a slide for a dagger, and I need that to ship soon because I leave the state in 2 weeks, and I'm gonna wait a few more days before I call them and start asking for favors because I need that before I leave. Yeah. But anyway, I'm glad Palmetto State is pretty cool. They definitely. I don't want to drive there. That's like 3 hours away, man. I don't really have anything to do because I'm on vacation until I start driving. But I just don't want to drive. That's stupid. Having to explain the whole situation to my daughter. Yeah, so that's a good point. I didn't even touch on that. So obviously I was scared for her, and I didn't want her to know that I was scared. So obviously during the whole situation, she stayed in the car. Police arrived, she stayed in the car. I gave her my phone, like, here's YouTube, watch Rainbow High or whatever cartoon stuff she watches. And then, she was curious about the whole situation. She actually made some TikToks on my account. I didn't see him until after. She's like, I was on my way to my birthday and I didn't expect to get crashed into. She didn't even know about the firearms and stuff, luckily. So on the way home, obviously, it was the first time we were like back together after the situation. And I just, I played it cool. I was just like, yeah, baby, I don't know. That he was just angry. She's like, yeah, why was he pulling his shirt up? His fat rolls were hanging out. And I'm like, I don't know, baby. Like, I don't know. He was just mad. Maybe he wasn't even mad at me. Maybe I was just the thing he decided to vent that anger on. And I just stayed calm, and I pretty much joked with her all the way home. I didn't want her to I don't want her innocence to die any more than society already makes it. So I just made jokes of it. You know, obviously I told my wife and, you know, my family back here what happened when we got home. But, you know, I kept it lighthearted. I didn't want it to be dreary. I didn't make it seem as bad as it could have been, you know. She's a kid. She doesn't need to be susceptible to that kind of stuff right now. Yeah, daggers are pretty sweet, you know. Yeah, she's a child, you know. So I kept it lighthearted, and then we kind of had some more conversations about it. She kind of brings it up. She's like, "Man, why was that guy so mad?" You know, kids, they're just, you know, squirrel, you know. So she'll bring up little stuff here and there, but yeah, just keep it lighthearted, and she's good. She's super resilient. She didn't miss a beat. You know, she had her party that night. She had fun, got lots of presents. You know, she was good. I carry a car. It's so compact and holds 8-9 millimeter. Yeah, those are pretty sweet. I don't know. I like those, and the super concealability of them is awesome. That's why I kind of like these micro 9s. So let me clear this out real quick. All right, yeah. So I mean, this, you know, the Max 9 is pretty small. Like, I mean, my hand is not very large. I have, you know, medium-sized man hands. But, you know, and this is their 12 round mag. They have 10 and 12 round mags that they come with, and I bought an extra 12 round mag. So it's not too bad. My Glock just has 10 round mags right now because the S15 shield mags suck. Yes, I don't care what your opinion is, they suck. And I'm waiting for Palmetto State Armory to actually release the micro dagger, which, if you didn't know, is going to come with 15 round mags that will be compatible in the Glock 43X. So we're going to have polymer 15 round mags with the Glock 43X from Palmetto State Armory whenever the micro dagger drops, and that's supposed to be later this year, like August. So you love the Shield Arms mags? Hey man, yeah, I get that a lot. Everything I see is like 50-50. Some people love them, some people hate them. I'm not going to risk using something that is so split and trust my life to it. Maybe if I had a great personal experience, I would, but I don't want to have to change things on the Glock. Like, the Glock mag release works, so why would I change it to a steel one just to run, you know, S15 mags, because it's going to eat up the polymer mag release, you know, that the Glock comes with. So if things are proven on a firearm, I don't necessarily want to change them unless it's something that I aesthetically or performance-based want to change. And you could argue that the steel mag release is performance-based if you can run the S15 mag and have, you know, so much more capacity. But I'll just wait for the micro dagger mags that are polymer, and I feel like those will work out well, because everything with the dagger that compares to the Glock 19 has been pretty spot on. You know, the dagger slides, all the barrels, everything fit the Glock 19 pretty much without issue. Glock 19 mags work flawlessly. So I don't have a doubt that they've done enough research for the micro dagger mags to do the same. That's all I swapped out was a mag release. And yeah, Palmetto State is so underrated. I'm waiting on a pistol lower with the Max and PDW brace. Couldn't pass up that day. Yeah, man, Palmetto State Armory's killing it. You know, every once in a while you'll get something that has a little bit of issues, but they stand behind their stuff. They get it taken care of, and just reach out to customer service, and boom. The dagger had some issues earlier on. They took care of it right away. If you have any issues with your dagger, you literally hit them up, and they'll take care of it. Some people needed a new I don't know, something was wrong with the triggers, the locking block. They took care of all that stuff, the pins. So yeah, they fixed all that stuff, and it's been a great gun. I love my dagger, and it's performed flawlessly. G23 trimmed it on 40, but I don't carry it all the time. I like the car and the Kimber. Yeah. I mean, 40's cool. It just gets heavy and bulky, and yeah, I don't really like paying for 40 either. It sucks. All right, guys. So that's kind of really what I wanted to talk about tonight. Just scary situation. Just not ideal, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to not address it, because at first that's what I was going to do. I was going to not address it and just, you know, blow it off and just let it go. But then I thought, I was like, well, these are the kind of experiences that people need to hear about, not just, you know, read about in the news where it's not. Sorry, I'm outside, and North Carolina has a bunch of clapped out, Carolina-leaned shenanigans that they call pickup trucks and SUVs that just make me cringe, but neither here nor there. Yeah, so I don't know, he made me lose all my train of thought. I wasn't going to address this video, but I wanted to just to get it out there, because it's more personal when you feel like you, obviously a lot of us don't know each other personally, but you follow along with the channel, you comment enough, you look at my content, you see my face, you kind of relate a little bit more than just seeing something on TV or reading a news article. This stuff does happen. Like, something so petty turned into something like way left field that didn't need to happen. You know how dudes with squatted trucks eat corn, right? I can imagine, but let's go ahead and hear you what you got to say about it, or let's see your comments, because I don't want to say it. Oh man, you guys are funny. But yeah, I just wanted to address it, you know, on a live and just talk about it, so we can all stay connected. Yeah, I should do that. Will I? I don't know. But actually, I might do it once I get to where I'm going. Right now, I'm at my in-laws' house for the next 2 weeks, chilling out. It's getting dark now. Just waiting to move, make this drive across country. It's gonna be terrible. But yeah, I just wanted to address that to you guys, just to let you know, like, carry your firearm. If no, bro, you know. No need, bro, you know. Yeah. All right. All right. We both. I got you. All right. But yeah, I just wanted to make it known, like, carry your firearm. You never know when you're gonna need it, and the time that you're gonna need it, it's gonna be the most ridiculous time you didn't think you were gonna need a firearm, and you're either gonna be dead or you're gonna be kicking yourself in the ass. Like, man, I screwed up. I should be carrying right now. Yeah, guys, I know sometimes it's uncomfortable. Like, dude, I'm sitting right here in a lawn chair, you know, and I'm carrying. I'm at my house, dude. Like, but who knows? Somebody could pull up in the driveway and just start freaking ringing out shots. I don't know, man. And I don't live my life like some big conspiracy theorist, but you just don't know. Now, am I inside watching Supernatural on the couch with, you know, appendix carry? No, absolutely not. But there is a gun in the room, and it's usually, you know, within one, max 2 arms distance away from me. And the doors are locked, you know, all that cool stuff. We are out in the country. We do have a bunch of roosters, so if you hear them, that's what that is. Yeah, but you gotta live your life prepared. Never sit on the porch without it. Yeah, whether it's in the waistband or sitting right there next to the glass of whiskey, you know, you gotta have it. Oh, I missed a question, dang it. What was it? Let me see. Uh-oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. No, I'll see it once I end the live. Yeah, you gotta have it on you. Gotta have it on you at all times. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for the live. This will post as a regular video once I end the live, so we can keep going in the comments, keep shooting the crap. S word. Yeah, I don't want to say too many. I've already cursed a lot in this video, which I typically try not to, but you know, when you're in a live, it's so informal. You know, when I'm doing regular videos, I have much more control. I can stop, record, edit, blah, blah, blah. I just feel like I'm talking to you guys like we're buddies, you know, because I'd like to think we're friends. And if any of you live along the way from North Carolina to California, I'm going to try to hit Route 66. I think Oklahoma is where I can first hit it from where I'm at. I think it's like Tulsa, somewhere around there is like the first spot I can jump onto Route 66. So if any of you live along that kind of stretch right there, let me know. I got to stop, stay in hotels, eat. Oh, maybe we have a beer or something. Just let me know. That's pretty much it, guys. Love you. Stay safe. Protect your family, loved ones, yourself, and just stay prepared, man. Stay prepared, train, and keep educating yourself. We can never know too much. If you think you know everything, you think you're the most proficient guy out there, you're not. There's somebody who knows stuff. There's somebody who knows way more than you. There's somebody who's more proficient, more well-trained. just knowledge is power, man. Knowledge is power. And the guy who thinks he knows it all is the guy who ends up looking like a fool. So, stay hungry. Stay hungry for knowledge. Knowledge is power. So that's all I got. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.